Okay, Be'ezrat Hashem B'siyata D'Shmaya. Today is the 21st of the month of Shvat, Wednesday, the 4th day of the week of Parashat Shabbat, ParshatMishpatim. Be'ezrat Hashem, we're back at the Limut over here in the Kehillah of Maple Ridge, Baruch Hashem. B'siyata D'Shmaya, we're continuing actually, back in the Sefer Yirat HaShem from Moshe Amber. It's Sefer Mishpatim with his holy Limud on the parasha of Eved, somebody who's the Koine Eved. So we said yesterday that it actually relates how he and his wife live in this world, the beginning words of the parasha. So he continues, Im Adonav iten lo isha. Now a person has to understand that there is no if, there is no maybe. We have to understand that I'm a little bit surprised the way the rabbi worded it yesterday. A person never got married. He was trying to get married, but never got married. But Derech Klal, the Gemara clearly says actually that there is nobody in this world who was born not to get married. Nobody. Basically, one of the first things that the Masechta Nida over there, when the angel is asking Hashem, what's with this soul? Before he even asks what's with this soul, the Gemara describes that he has a special sword, and he takes this soul and he splits it into half. And he puts a half of a man and a half into the woman, and that's what it means over here. And there will be one, a husband and a wife. So there is no probability that a person is born into this world that he doesn't have a second half. It's not even fathomable. It's not possible. So, if you want to get married, you'll get married. There is nothing stopping you. As the Gemara outlined in Masechta Kedushin, I believe it says that there are only 3% of women in the world that you cannot marry. Not healthy, mentally unstable, a few things like that. But in reality, a man could marry 97% of the women in the world. If the person who wants to get married, there's nothing stopping him. So here, the question is, Im Adonav iten lo isha. So over here, Im. Yes, technically speaking, the pasuk is talking about a man who was a thief, who was sold to a master, and now the master wants to utilize him. So the first rule is that maybe people don't know, but it's kedai to point out that the master, let's say this slave that was sold to him, he had to be married. What does that mean? If he is married, only then. I'm talking right now the Torah itself. I'm not talking right now Rav Moshe's Amber. We're going to learn right now in a second what it means, what he wants to say from that. But in itself, if you look at the pasuk in the Torah, if the master will give him a wife, now that in itself is very questionable. Meaning, can I take any Jewish slave and give him a wife? No. The condition is this Jewish slave, he is allowed to be forced to be married only if he is married before. And that's what Torah says. If he was never married, the master is not allowed to marry him off. But if he came with a wife and children, the master has to sustain them also and has to send them back with his wife and children. However, the only time now that he's allowed to get a wife from the master, to have other children, only if he has already been Mikayem Mitzvat Pru'urvu, when he came in with his own wife, with his children. Okay? So that's just a side note. But here, now we're going into a deeper meaning in the Pasuk, as we did so far. So the Rabbi says like this. It says, Im Adonav iten lo isha. If the master gives him a wife, what does that mean, really? In spiritual realm, it says like this. Dehainu HaShem shehu Adonav, meaning Hashem, He is our master. Adon means the master of the world, not His master, in the physical aspect. Hashem, Chanan oto beisha. He gave him a wife, ubanim banot. A man was blessed to have a wife with children. Now he has children from her, boys and girls. Az aisha v'ladea tihye ladonea. It is incumbent upon every father and a husband figure to instill in the family this concept that they have to be for Hashem. Everything is for Hashem. The job of Torah in the house is a man. The woman is an enforcer. The man is the introducer. The man tells the wife, this is how we live. And the wife, Baruch Hashem, she has a big nose, she could enforce it. That's her job. But they implement, for instance, the way the Rebbe explained, my Rebbe once explained to me, what's the scenario? It's like this. When a man comes to his wife, and it's raining outside, right? It's raining outside, a little bit chilly. So he says to her, I don't know, should I go to shul? It's a little bit rainy, it's cold outside. So when the wife sees a man, he's a little fluffer, like a fluffy boy, she will tell him, no, don't go to shul, it's too cold, stay home. Honest Rahman Apata, right away she becomes a rabbi. She knows that the Torah says somebody is in danger, and she's going to tell him, remember 2 weeks ago you went out and you were knocked out cold for 3 days. I can't have that. Don't go. Now, but then there's another person. He comes to his wife. All right, I'm going. I'm going to shul. Mincha Arvit. I have to go. There's no questions. What does the wife say? She sees a man who is geared. He's ready to do it. Yana not asking her. She will not stop him, even though he got sick 2 weeks ago. She will not stop him. She will encourage him. Yes, go. I'll wait for you until you come back. Meaning it's your approach. How is the man approach the holy aspects? If a man is oriented and there's nothing going to stop him, the wife will not stop him. But if he's a fluff boy and he's wishy-washy, he's okay not to go, he's actually looking for her to give him the confidence that it's okay he doesn't go. The wife will give him okay not to go. It all depends what the man is instilling. So here the rabbi is saying that Hashem gave you a wife and children, you're obligated to guide him in the path of Hashem. שהוא חייב לחנכם על דרך תורת השם האדון, in the path of Hashem, והוא יוצא בגפו. What does begapo means? And then what happens is now he will go out as he came in. Meaning, gufo yanuach bakever. Meaning his body, his physical body, after he passes this world, his body will not be tortured in the grave. And more than that, it will be relaxed and he will enjoy. V'yakum l'tchiyat hametim, because he geared his family towards service of God, he will rise in the time of tchiyat hametim. Im ishto banav ksherim. This is all while his children and his wife are all in the path of God that he placed them while he was in this year. What again? How did he present the issues of Kedusha, Torah, going to shul, learning Torah constantly? How did he do it? This is how his family will continue his legacy. So the Torah says, continues the pasuk, Ve'im amor yamer ha'eved. What happens, sometimes there is a problem with people. They are too much involved in this world. So the pasuk says, what happens in the case when a husband declares to Hashem, to his master, Ahavti et Adoni, I love my master, meaning, דהיינו, שאם יהודי זה רוצה לעשות עירובין, he wants to serve God. He really wants to serve God. I love Hashem. But this person now, he also wants to do what? He also wants to enjoy this world. And he wants to make a mishkan b'vul. He wants to make a cholent. לערב עם אהבת התורה, גם אהבת עולם הזה. He loves Hashem. He wants to mix, we could be religious, but don't forget, we could go to have mundane pleasures also. Go to a movie theater and such, or go to parties, events. Be'achirat muteret. No, he's allowed to go. It's a kosher party, right? A kosher restaurant or a kosher wedding. Forget about that it's a mixed wedding. Forget about it's a mixed a bar mitzvah with music and everything. Forget about all that. It's kosher. So you love it. Listen, I'm going to go enjoy with my family. I tell you, why not? Right? He says to himself. V'tiyulim u'mischakim. He's going to take his family on vacations where they're all going to be entertained, but he also wants to learn Torah. יחד עם אשתו ובניו ואומר לא אצא חופשי לגמרי מן הדת אלא לחצי יהודי. So he wants to be, fluffer Everything is allowed. And people today, by the way, that's what most of us, we are busy with. The family that we have, they're geared, not so, isolated life that like Rambam. Rambam actually he's enforcing on Jews. He tells us it's incumbent on us to isolate ourselves, to deprive ourselves from a lot of different types of pleasures. What is the worst thing that I see today? I go to a restaurant. What are you serving? My wife says to me, "Oh, look at this. Do you want to try bacon imitation?" They sell bacon imitation. What? What do you?
Imitation pizza.
Yeah. This imitation, that imitation. My question is, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? What's this? What's the purpose of all these imitations? No, we want to eat kosher, but we want to have, but why? What's the concept of that? This is what we're talking about here. A Jew wants to keep Torah, but he wants to also introduce the other worlds. As v'yishu Adonav el Elohim, then Hashem will come to be ze midat adin. Hashem will exact judgment on this person. Shachar ptirato v'yishu el aderet. After he passes away, they will bring him close to the door. What does that mean? Delet elo bet edim tefillin shel yad v'shel shel rosh. So Dalet is shekatuv bahen Dalet Dalet parshiyot. So Dalet means over here not Dalet, Dalet, 4 parshiyot that are written in the tefillin, the hand and the head. Shehem kishnei edim. It's like 2 witnesses, the hand and the head. V'yaid olav shelo kiyem zeh ma shekatuv bazeh. They will testify that he was not meticulous fully. The Torah says clearly. Why is a person creating imitation? Crab imitation, pig imitation, like you said, pepperoni pizza. What is all that purpose? Because he was exposed to garbage. Shalotaturu, the Torah says you're not allowed to go after your eyes. Who is Torah talking about? Torah is specifically talking where a person he was exposed. In America, the biggest thing they were promoting in the last 25, 30 years, be open-minded. All the songs, everything, the whole system changed. When I came to America, it was not like this. The word open-minded, nobody heard about it. All of a sudden, in the 90s, became a new concept. Be open-minded to everything. That's right. The Torah is actually talking to people who are open-minded. Because they're exposed, Hashem says, Lo taturu acharei levavchem. There is no reason why we should be running and trying to entertain the thought, let's make imitation this, imitation that. שהרי כתוב בהם, ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בדברי תורה. You're constantly to be toiling in the Torah, בכל רגע, constantly, אוהל המזוזה. So here the master will bring him to the door, where's the mezuzah, doorpost. זה עד השלישי. So the doorpost is what? That's the third witness. כי על פי ב' וג' עדים יקום דבר, because according to Torah, 2 or 3 witnesses will bring up a judgment. שגם במזוזה כתובים פסוקים אלו, because in the mezuzah also this psukim taught that you must teach your children completely only to dedicate themselves to Torah. של קריאת שמע, ואפילו שהוא קיים מצוות הנחת תפילין וקבע מזוזה בפתחו. Even this person was meticulous. He did put on tefillin and he put mezuzah, everything. אפילו אחי יבואו להעידו שלא קיים מה שכתוב בהם. But he was also being busy looking ways to entertain his family, which is, not 1,000%, acceptable. He wouldn't do certain aspects. What's the barometer? What's the barometer? What's expected? What is nice thing to do? Take your Rebbe there. Will your Rebbe go to that place? Will your Rebbe go to that? Or your Rosh Yeshiva will come with you to this affair that you're about to attend, even if it's kosher. That's the barometer. You should always think, If my grandfather was a holy person, would he attend such an affair? That is the barometer a person should always check before he does anything. What I'm about to do, well, let's say I want to sit down and do something that's not 1,000% kosher. Maybe it's kosher, but it's not 1,000. Will my Rosh Yeshiva sit next to me and will enjoy, or my family rabbi? I tell everybody, I tell every woman today, don't get married until you have a family rabbi.
You know,
1 second, until you have a family rabbi who's the person is afraid of. Your husband has to be afraid of this man. What does afraid mean? Like honor him and be in awe of him. Please take care of yourself. Okay? שהרי כל מטרת המצוות האלו לקיים מה שכתוב בהם. The whole purpose of learning Torah is to fulfill what is written there. וכתוב בהם והיו הדברים האלה, and it says over there, this words, this Torah should be on your heart constantly. ושננתם לבניך, and you should teach your children, ודיברת בם, and you should be talking about with them constantly. בשבתך בביתך, when you're sitting in your house, ולכתך בדרך, when you're on the way, וקשרתם, and you should tie it in your hands, וקטרתם. בעזרת HaShem. Zohar, you want to ask something before we?
I was going to say. Yesterday, what do the Christians say? What would Yoshka do? They say, what would Yoshka do in this situation? I'm saying, even them. It's funny, but
okay.
is that they look up to him as if as if he's some. But I'm saying the fact that they look up and say, oh, what would Yoshka do in this situation?
Again, listen. It says in the Gemara, I believe it says, I believe it's a Mishnah or something, or Kohelet. V'yu einecha ro'ot et morecha. Why we publish pictures and put pictures on the walls of the Rabbanim in the house? Because v'yu einecha ro'ot et morecha, you should constantly see a person who is implanting in you Torah, and there has to be awe and inspiration and fear. Because this way you will stay away from doing not such a good things. All right, Bezat Hashem. Hopefully we'll get this to our heads. I'm talking to myself, by the way. Hopefully one day I'll become appropriate. Now, Bezat Hashem, we're going to start Halachot Shabbat in a second.